All right. Welcome to TTF Two Tone Football. Welcome to our roundtable, Two Tone Nation. Here we are again. I'm Rocky C. I'm joined with James D, and we have our guest Big Z. Got Zion.
Z
I'm
in the
Rocky C.
house.
I cover all Dallas Cowboys content media. James covers all Detroit Lions content media, representing the North. In the roundtable, we have Zion, who's a Chiefs fan. He represents the West and the AFC. As you see on our roundtable, Lions, Cowboys, Chiefs, a little bit, three different teams who have some similarities, a lot of differences, but at the end of the day, we're all in the same hunt, trying to do the one goal at the end of this. So that's get in the tournament.
Yeah.
Let's just try to get in. Um, but yeah, Zion, thanks for joining the show this week, man. As you know, Chiefs, Cowboys. That's once we every blue moon we play each other.
Yeah, I believe it's every 4 years, but yeah, I appreciate y'all for having me on here. It's always fun to do this. So, but yeah, I believe it's every 4 years that they play each other.
4 years.
Yeah,
Yep. Well, it's always a tough one, man. It's always something crazy. Micah Parsons, Patrick Mahomes, or Tyreek Hill scoring before halftime, or just
yeah,
it's always some crazy, crazy, crazy nonsense with when it comes to us playing. Um,
yeah,
and then as we know, James, the Lions are playing the Packers
Yep.
Thursday morning on Thanksgiving. Dallas has a little bit of history as we have, well, we're tied with the Packers, which is loco as it is. And so we'll get into the Packers and the Lions game as well, and the factor of how that plays into the North. Well, trying to win the division and keep up with Chicago is,
Big playoff picture game to look at too.
oh yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. We'll start us off the first segment. Zion, we'll talk about Dallas's offense and Kansas City's defense. And so, for example, I think Dallas. I think we need to establish the run game, and I think what
yeah,
we need to do is the way Prescott succeeds is with the run game. It prevents him from having to play a lot of hero ball, from him trying to force things, try to get things going. It takes pressure off of himself as well. But I do think Dallas needs to get Javonte Williams going. But the issue I find with that is I was watching the Chiefs play who did the Kansas City played? The
the
Colts.
Colts. Yeah,
And I'm a Jonathan Taylor fantasy owner, and I'm just watching them funnel Jonathan Taylor through the outside, and they don't contain the middle because they have Chris Jones in the center, and he's just causing chaos and wreaking havoc. And so that allows the linebackers and the ends to freely play their lanes on the outside to contain. And so
yeah,
JT couldn't go outside. It's you either going to go up and deal with Chris Jones, or you're going to get tackled on the outside. And I think Kansas City does that very well. And if we can establish, if it's going to be Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, and Trey Smith, Tyler Smith. They're going to
yeah,
be all dealing with Chris Jones in some way, form, or a way. And if they can get something going against him, we can get the Dak kind of established and comfortable in that zone. It's just tough. It's tough. I don't know if we can do that. That's a
yeah,
it's a tough task with Chris Jones.
yeah,
But I do think maybe if we can't get the run game going, Dak has to kind of be more aggressive throwing the football. And I
yeah,
do see some kind of creaks and cracks in that secondary where I think George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb can take advantage of that. And
yeah,
especially Lamb coming off of a lot of drops with Philly. This is a game on Thanksgiving. He's going to want to prove himself that, hey, don't forget, like, Lamb is still here. And I think
yeah,
Dallas can do that against Kansas City secondary. But it's just so tough because it's going to be, I think the trenches is this interior game of our O line and Kansas
yeah,
City's D line. I really feel that's going to determine the sway of Dallas having success on the field, or if we're going to move the ball because I think it comes down to that. I don't know what it is right now at the moment. We'll get to that as the video progresses. But what are your thoughts on that, Zion? What do you think about
yeah.
Dallas's offense and Kansas City's defense?
Well, I think you're right with the whole run game aspect, and as far as like Jonathan Taylor goes, there's so many times throughout my lifetime of seeing, mostly with Spags, I guess, it's like when Kansas City wants to stop the run game, they're gonna stop the run game. It's weird. I like Derrick Henry with the Titans, or like even far back as like Dalvin Cook when he was with the Vikings. It was just like there's a commitment to the run, and they're going to do everything they can to stop the run, especially with these star backs. And so, I there's a chance Dallas could get the ball on the ground for sure, just because I don't think that's going to be a focal point. I think the Dallas offense runs through Dak 100%. And I think you're 100% right. Their weakness is just target whoever Trent McDuffie's not on. You know what I mean? Uh, both these receivers can win versus Trent McDuffie for sure, but he is the best corner. And so it's
Yeah.
like whoever Jalen Watson is lined up on,
Oh,
sorry,
Watson.
all day all
Oh
day. Jamari
man.
Connor, whoever he's on in the slot, like whoever they're playing there, just target that and you will have success for sure. As far as the run game, though, I think you made a good point. These linebackers are fast.
They
They're
are
tackle machines.
fast. They are
I
Yeah,
mean,
they're
you
big.
held Jahmyr Gibbs under 65 yards when you
yeah,
played Detroit earlier this year, which is pretty impressive when you look at how big Jahmyr Gibb has been breaking off these big runs. So
Mhm.
if you can contain these runs within, 2, 3 yard runs, that's how you win the game, right, Zion?
yeah, definitely. I from watching Spags all these years, he has a very simple philosophy. He likes the big guys, the George Karlaftises and stuff. He wants to stop the run. They invested in these linebackers that aren't good in pass coverage. They're a liability for sure. I guess they're decent. They're not the worst, but that's not their strong suit. Their strong suit is see ball, get ball. And so they get these big guys, and they just want to stop the run. They want to get you in third and long, third and eights, some of these long distances. So Spags can just blitz. He can get in his bag. He can
Yeah.
who's
His
coming,
blitzing
where
is
he's coming.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that tends to be his thing. And so yeah, I kind of stumbled there a bit, but yeah, that tends to
You're
be
good.
his
You're
whole
good.
his whole idea is just, get him in long distances, with the run game, and stopping him. And so pass rush has never really been a big thing. Obviously, you get star players like Chris Jones and stuff, but yeah, that's how the Chiefs win. They don't get a lot of turnovers. That's just what they do. They make you punt the ball in these long situations. So yeah,
And that reminds me too of like God, jeez, bro. Bolton is fast and big, dude. That is a
yeah,
big human being, man. That is a scary human being who just plays linebacker very
yeah,
scarily. And they're all physical. They're all physical, man. They're very physical
yeah.
at the point of attack. And I do think that's a good point too, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how we get that going, how we handle the physicality of them. We'll flip the script a little bit
Yeah.
on Kansas City's offense and Dallas's defense. I think it's a little tough, man, because I think you guys have Rashi Rice and you have Travis Kelce. And I don't hear me out here. I don't think that's gonna be an issue. And when I say that, I don't mean that in a sense of like we're gonna lock them up, we're gonna clamp them up. No, I think it's gonna be the Xavier Worthies. It's gonna be the Hollywood Browns. It's gonna be those dudes who Andy Reid is gonna know that we're so focused on set two characters, and
Yeah.
I think we'll have some success stuffing the run with Kareem Hunt. I know so we have a joke with Kareem Hunt about him on on a
Let's hear
dolly.
this.
He has a washing machine, and he's carrying a dolly. That's his running style, the style of running
Yeah.
he has. But right guard Trey Smith is not playing this week, and
Yeah.
I think that is going to be massive,
Definitely.
very massive, because that dude is a guy.
Yeah. He's a
Trey
mauler
Smith's
for sure.
he's a mauler, and we've watched him just kill people live on television, national television, and
Yeah.
I do think that's going to be a liability in that offensive line, and especially with now the momentum that Dallas's defensive line. I can't not so much the whole defense, but that defensive line, the Quinnen Williams, the Osas, the Clarks, even the Clownies, the Ezrakus. I think this is a high. They're riding a crazy high from Philadelphia, and then Kansas City going into AT&T. I think if we can establish if that D line can get to Mahomes, if we can get interior pass rush, just rattle not you can't rattle Mahomes though. See, and that leads me into another point I want to make. But it's like if we can just get to Mahomes, I
Yeah.
think we'll be okay because Eberflus is gonna get got, man. It's Andy Reid versus Matt Eberflus here, and I have zero faith in Matt Eberflus when it comes to that chess match of those two going tit for tat. I don't think Eberflus can outcoach Andy Reid, and I think Andy Reid already with a Mahomes who's in a win now mode because of set record and set scenarios trying to make the playoff push. The Chiefs are in playoff mode right now. They've been in playoff mode for 2 weeks now. That's been
Definitely.
established. And when it comes down to that, the pressure, when it comes to these high stake games and the whole world's watching, the whole world, the record for the most views in an NFL game is Giants and Cowboys Thanksgiving a couple years ago. You're telling me the Chiefs and Cowboys aren't going to double that number is crazy to me.
Are you guys
Andy
playing in
Reid,
prime time?
we're 2 o'clock. We're
Oh,
2:25.
Yeah.
shame, shame. Should have been prime time.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who plays Thursday night, honestly, but I just think we're in a position where that like Kansas City's offense, they're just so good and they're so experienced, man. They're so experienced. This is they know this is a high stakes game, but they also understand like they've been in higher pressure games before and they've succeeded. And I think that's going to give them that advantage over this Eberflus defense that's been struggling all year. We have two good games, and now here we are going to think, oh yeah, we're gonna stop the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't see it happening. I don't. I really don't. I think we're gonna stop Kareem Hunt. I think the run game's gonna. I think we're gonna stop that. But I just no way. I don't think we can contain Kelsey and Rashi for the whole being. I just don't see it happening. I don't. I think the defense is gonna get exposed a little bit. But the best way we have that chance, like I mentioned before, all this was interior pressure. Just fucking the Eagles did it in the Super Bowl. Just get to Mahomes. Just get to
Yeah.
Mahomes, man. If we can get to him as fast as we can, then that puts us in a position where we can stack points. We have a good shot. But other than that, Zion, what do you think, man? What do you have about the offense and
They're
Dallas's
in
defense?
yeah, the Kansas City offense is in a weird place right now.
Mhm.
Um, it is interesting because I've been thinking about it, and I don't want to call it an identity crisis because I don't think that's what it is. It's a lot of things, being unable to throw the deep balls, one. A lack of commitment to the run game is huge. I mean, we barely just got that going with Cream last week, you know. Um, there's so many things, and Rashi Rice hurting his hamstring is going to be huge because I feel like Kansas City will target Rashi Rice. We will have a ton of success, and then they're just like, uh, against Denver, there was like the defensive player made a really good play, and it was
Mhm.
like we just didn't go back to Rashi after that, and it was just like that ended up being the difference. And then with the Colts, you saw we went back to Rashi, and when we got back to Rashi, the offense got back on track.
Mhm.
And so, him being on the field with his hamstring or whatever is going on is going to be massive. Also, Worthy's dealing with something. Seems like an ankle or something lower body. So that's going to be a big deal because without Rashi Rice on this offense, it is a totally different offense. They cannot get it going. And a lot of that seems to be Mahomes just not trusting people, not throwing the one-on-one matchups. Why Worthy isn't having success and Thornton had success when I would consider they play the same role in the offense, and I would consider Worthy better than Thornton in that
Right.
role.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's just not throwing the deep ball. And when he is, he's missing, and he's missing
It,
by a lot. You know,
is it the chemistry that is missing because we're talking about Worthy's been out with injury since,
yeah,
the first week. He missed how many, 2, 3 weeks?
yeah, something like that.
And so do you think it's just that missing chemistry? Because Rice was out with the suspension for 6 weeks, and it just seems like there's not a lot of chemistry that has been built upon each other week through week.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. It seems to me like chemistry could play a part in it. Um, it's almost play design too. Like some of this is on Andy and some of this is on Mahomes, which is like it's crazy to say because they have been the ones that have this success starts with them,
Mhm.
so you hate to be like point fingers at them, but honestly, a lot of it has been on those two. A lack of willing to run the ball is a big deal. Mahomes not being comfortable, missing easy throws, you know what I mean? Just being off target with his receivers, not trusting his guys. And so it's frustrating to watch more than anything because there's been times when the Chiefs lose, it's like, okay, they just didn't show up to play at all, you know? But this is a different kind of thing where it's just like it's just not clicking. The gears aren't slipping into place, you know, and something is causing this. And I don't know if it's a play selection thing. I don't know if it's Mahomes missing these things or just not trusting his guys, you know. Um, so yeah, it's kind of confusing. It's a little weird to watch because it's just like without Rashi or without Kelsey, you know, like without them being fed so many targets, they probably are terrible, you know. It's solely dependent on this one guy, and I don't think Kansas City has been built like that in a long time, you know. Um, but as far as the Dallas defense, you know, the way to stop Mahomes and get Mahomes has been out there since the Bengals. And the Colts started doing it too and had some success with it. You blitz three and you spy the A gap. Mahomes is gonna get he's gonna try to run, he's gonna step right up into the quarterback spy in the A gap. That's been there. You know, the Colts did it, they had a lot of success with it. You know, um, as far as Kareem Hunt goes, who knows if Andy's gonna even run the ball? Some weeks we run the ball, some weeks we just don't even try to run the ball, you know. Uh, they'll have success passing for sure. They're gonna, like I think Rocky said, they're gonna out scheme the Cowboys. There's no question about that. They're gonna get guys in spaces. It's just whether this can finally all click into place and we can start trusting some of these guys. We can start trusting Worthy, you know, and get the ball moving. You know, I don't see Kansas City running the ball that much against this defensive line, especially with Trey Smith out, who is you're not supposed to be here. I'm taking you out of here kind of guy.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I expect it to be a shootout. Something tells me it'll start off pretty slow and then it'll pick up. You know what I mean? Later in the game, once these teams start figuring out these defenses, I think it'll pick up for sure then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think so too.
Is Andy Reid the play caller?
Yes, he is. So that is a big thing that the community says because they say fire Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy is just a voice in Patrick's ear. Andy is calling all the plays. He's
Okay.
telling it Matt Nagy, and Matt Nagy is ringing them into Patrick's ear. So now, granted, Matt Nagy does help with play calls, and so does Patrick, and Matt Nagy will help draw up plays. So he's still a very important part of this team. But
He's helping with the scheming of
yeah,
everything
definitely.
and the I guess the rhythm of the play calling and stuff
Yeah,
like that, right?
yeah, yeah. But it is 100% Andy Reid calling the plays. It's been that way since he's probably been here. I mean, Eric Bieniemy, right? Like he was the
Yep.
offensive coordinator for some time. He wasn't saucing like that. You know what I mean? That's Andy.
Well, it doesn't help when you lose a coordinator every year, it feels like, out of
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Well, and I think that's why they do that is because as long as we have Andy, we're gonna it'll be all right. I think we only brought Matt Nagy in because he has experience with Andy. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
he's been in the system before with the Chiefs and stuff. And so Eric Bieniemy was with the Chiefs, you know. So they just kind of keep people who are just gonna kind of stay out of Andy's way or help with Andy or kind of Andy's morphed into what he needs them to be. And so I think that's as far as the offensive coordinator thing. But yeah, Andy Reid is 100% calling the plays. Definitely.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's oh, man, that's good points, bro. That's good points. Um, it's definitely gonna be an interesting game, bro. I think that Dallas and Kansas City are both at a point where we're both what Kansas City's 5-5,
6
6 and 5,
and
I
5.
believe.
six
Yeah.
and five, six and
Yep.
five. Dallas is 5-1. Freaking ties. So I think we're both in position. There's this thing called Brian Broaddus, who's a Dallas narrative. He's covers Cowboys as well. Um, he has this thing called the desperate team theory, and I truly believe in that. I think it's weird. It's weird because the desperate team theory applies for those who are beyond lost and lost. But I think Detroit, Kansas City, and Dallas are all three of us are in that boat because we're all in the hunt for the playoffs and we're all in kind
Yeah.
of in a position where the games we're playing now are very crucial and very important to play. If we lose these now, then the long term won't matter. If we win these,
Yeah.
if we handle business now, then maybe down the future, long term, the next couple weeks, the opportunity will present itself for a set team to take advantage of that, or not, or if slips. But I find it fascinating because it's like, Dallas is playing Kansas City, and I think we're both in playoff mode. I think we're both in like win now, the best of
Yeah.
the best. We have to present what we can, and I think that's what Detroit is in the same boat as well with Green
Yep.
Bay, and they have to do. And then after Detroit, you guys are playing. It's Dallas and Detroit,
Yep,
And
it's Dallas and Detroit after the Chiefs. What a
after the Chiefs,
rough schedule to have right
What a grueling
You
schedule,
wait,
dude,
man.
yeah,
Eagles,
Oh,
Chiefs, Detroit. You're talking about
Detroit.
if you looked at it last year, that's three Super Bowl contending teams right there, right?
yeah.
They're there, yeah, and that's the little gauntlet that Dallas has, and we won the first one. If you can even count, if you want to count the Raiders game, that's 4 games in 18 days. 4 games in 18 days is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The Vaders.
Yo, that's
The
a
Raiders.
grueling
Oh,
competition,
just one Darth Vader on the field,
Matt
screaming at
Eberflus sweating trying to draw up something.
cooked, man. This is like so like the Raiders, the Eagles, Chiefs, and then Lions. And so I think even when we played Detroit, which for all the peeps out there that we announced in our last video, go check it out. We'll be doing live in person. I think that's going to be a game too where Detroit just it's going to be the best what we have to win now. And with Kansas City, like I mentioned earlier, they've been in high peer pressure moments, and I think this is a good way, a good chance for them to establish to the league, saying, "Hey, we're still here and we're not going anywhere." And don't forget, with just a couple slip ups here and there, we can. And only reason I feel so confident about that is because this Dallas team is so unproven right now. Someone like, what have we done to make me believe that we can stop these high contending teams? We beat the Eagles, we beat Philly, but Philly's a divisional rival. We always beat the Eagles. It doesn't matter if they win a million Super Bowls, they'll still lose to the Cowboys. That's
Yeah,
just how it is. And so I think
yeah,
this is a good test to establish where we are. Because if we come out, we beat Kansas City, it doesn't matter how we beat them. If we just win, I think we go in. I think when we played Detroit, I think that's gonna be an interesting game because I mean, we just came off we would beat the Super Bowl champs
and
and the
Super Bowl
fucking
runner-ups.
exactly like the
Yeah,
Chiefs dynasty. So that's like beating the Patriots, Tom Brady and the Patriots back in the day. You're beating
yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And
Well,
so
that's
I
like beating that's like if you think about it, beating Peyton Manning with the Colts
mhm.
and then walking into New England and beating New England in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
it's
pretty
definitely
crazy.
something. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. It's like going in, you're gonna beat Tom Brady, and then you're gonna go beat up Drew Brees, and then you're gonna beat up Philip Rivers. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's what it feels like. And the stretch is insane. And to prove even more point, Zion, I pulled up this note in our last video we talked about.
Yeah.
I kind of went on a little Dak Prescott tangent.
Right.
Did you know, Zion? Did you know that there's three there's three players in NFL history that have 19 350-yard passing games. Since
Okay.
2016, there's three, and Dak Prescott joined them. So there's four, including Dak. Four.
Right.
And do you want to take a guess at who those three quarterbacks are since since 2016 with 19 career 350-yard passing games?
I'm gonna go Josh Allen,
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes,
Mhm.
Jared Goff, Dak Prescott.
Dang, dang, that's close. James was pretty close. James was almost on it too. You guys
All
are
right.
both close. So you had Mahomes right.
Okay.
Mahomes was correct. Jared Goff was correct.
Oh, let's go. All
Jared
right. All
Goff.
right. So
The
Jared
last one,
Goff.
it wasn't Josh Allen. It was Tom Brady.
Oh, wow. I should have figured. Yeah.
Tom Brady, and that's just since 2016, dude.
That
He
guy's
still
insane.
had he still had fucking 80 more years prior to that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Dak Prescott joins them all four, and I find that so fascinating because Jared Goff and Mahomes both have a chance to pop off on this Dallas defense, and I truly think Dak Prescott and this Dallas offense is they're pretty dang good. And I think once they get their wheels greased up, Prescott can drop 350 on Detroit and Kansas City.
Yeah.
But it all depends just how, Dallas's
Yeah, I think
offense is
I think you made a good point with Kansas City in playoff mode. There was that interception against the Broncos, and I think that changed the way Patrick Mahomes was playing. I think we lost the game because of that interception, and Mahomes realized that. And so he was very methodical against the Colts. And I
yeah,
expect to see that Patrick. He's not going to make mistakes in the playoffs. He doesn't make hardly any mistakes. We've lost in the playoffs before, but
yeah,
um, it's not going to be a crazy type of deal. It's going to be a nickel and dime, I think. Just like Kansas City played the Colts, I expect them to take that same approach with Dallas. And
yeah.
so They just don't make many mistakes, and I think that interception really messed with Mahomes when he threw that against the Broncos and lost the game, I think, in the red zone. So, yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think it'll be a different Chiefs team. It'll be a playoff Chiefs team.
Hmm.
And so it'll be interesting to see for sure.
It's a good way to see how Dallas handles that because if Dallas handles this well, and if we go in there, if Kansas City comes to Dallas and we handle our own, then it's a
Yeah.
good feeling. 'Cause it's like, okay, well, we just handled, we just beat the Chiefs, or we
Yeah.
sit there, we lose, and I'm anticipating us to lose this game. Um, then we can sit here and hey, I just hope it's not a blowout. I just hope it's not a
Yeah.
beat down. I just hope it's not a beat down. Ultimately, my final thoughts for this game, I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Cowboys. I don't see Dallas winning. I just think with the way everyone is in win now mode, Dallas is just super unproven, and I don't know if they have the coaching skills to get us out of this predicament against
Yeah.
one of the best teams in the NFL. So I got Kansas City winning. I don't have a score, but I do think that's what I do have my prediction for the winner.
Yeah.
Um, Zion,
I expect a shootout, to be honest with you. I think it'll start slow and it'll pick up. I don't think it's going to be some crazy 48-45 type of game,
mm,
but like 27-30, 27-32-ish, somewhere around there, I
oh
think
yeah,
is probably where it gets to, you know. But I do see Kansas City winning. I see Mahomes getting the ball late and just kind of going down the field
it's kind of
and
yep,
winning the game. But Dak will probably throw for 400 yards. It'll probably be that type of game, to be honest with you, because
yeah,
it's going to be a shootout. Um, they're going to have to keep pace with Kansas City in playoff mode, and that's going to mean Dak Prescott and George
slinging it,
Pickens and
yeah.
just going crazy. You know what I mean? Uh, we'll see. I think McDuffie will follow Pickens, so we'll see. It'll be interesting. But yeah, Kansas
That
City
will
like
be.
30-27 versus Dallas, I would say.
If McDuffie follows Pickens, how do you think they'll
Yeah,
handle Lamb?
you don't. I would just
You
park a
pray.
truck on the field and make CD run around at every play, and then just be like, all right, like, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? But
Not
yeah,
fair.
it's a mismatch in the secondary all day. So yeah, that's my prediction. 30-27, somewhere around there, probably
Somewhere
for
in there.
Kansas City, like a late
Nice.
possession type of thing.
Nice. James,
Yeah, I'd agree with the 30-27, but I'm gonna lean Dallas on this one.
Oh,
on the
I think
upset.
I think it's
Whoa.
just gonna be a little too late out of the Chiefs defense, and you're just gonna see that last possession. You just gotta get, Brandon Aubrey within 60 yards of field goal range. So I think it's gonna be one of those last things where, oh well, Kansas City went down there and tied it up. We're going to overtime. Nope, just kidding. Dak's gonna bomb it, 20, 30 yards down the field to George Pickens, a CD Lamb, and just barely be enough time on the clock for a Aubrey 50 plus yard field goal to win.
yeah.
That's where I'm gonna go.
I dig
I
it.
like
I
that
dig it.
actually. I really like that. I honestly, if it comes down to that, it's gonna be whatever quarterback has the ball last. I
Yeah,
really like that idea.
I think
Whatever
it's really
quarterback
gonna
gets the
be
ball last.
whoever gets the last, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be Dallas, and because you guys are playing in AT&T, right?
Yep.
Yep.
He could
I'm
kick
gonna go.
90
I'm just
yards.
gonna break
So
it with Dallas playing at
yeah,
home.
I
I like
dig
that.
it.
Oh
I
yeah.
like that a lot. I know we didn't talk much about Detroit and Green Bay. Any thoughts for the Detroit and Green Bay, James, before we close this on up?
A big thing I got is Detroit's offensive line needs to just control the game and control Micah Parsons from getting from the backfield. From there, the best way you do that is just establish that running game. Jahmyr Gibbs, we're talking about he had 260 plus yards in rushing last weekend. So why can't we do that against, Green Bay? Mostly when, you don't got a Kenny Clark there anymore. You run it up the middle. Give it, to Jahmyr Gibbs. And if he's not doing the best, get David Montgomery out there. Let him bring the bruising down on that Green Bay's defense. Let's get him a little bit more involved. But that would be my big key points takeaway if we want to win this game in Detroit on Thursday.
A good way too that I coming from a fucking Cowboys fan who had like I know Micah Parsons, Zion too. Me and Zion watched countless games with Micah Parsons. You
Yep.
know how you do it, how Dallas did it this year, is you chip him. You constantly get hands on him. You constantly get him. You run the ball at him. You constantly get people to hit him and get their hands and just move him. Because once he's getting chipped and chipped and chipped, it's just a matter. He'll get, don't get me wrong, he's gonna come off fast. He's gonna come off the gates like a hell on, like a cat on fire, dude. But then you slowly start getting tight ends, just kind of hitting him. He's gonna be non-factor. His hips are
Mhm.
gonna swell up. He's gonna get the
He's
um
gonna be worn out. He's gonna get that
worn
old
out.
man syndrome.
And then not
Fatigue has
only
always been
that,
a
he's
thing for him.
he's gonna mentally psych himself out of it because he can't do anything because his body's fucking up on him. And I think that's how you do it. You slow him down and you make him play slower, physically and literally.
Yeah, and I think this is an opportunity for our defense to come out. Aiden Hutchinson, he's been missing. He's been on the back of a milk carton since he's gone his contract. But this is the time that he could come out and dominate against Jordan Love, I think also.
That's fair. All right. Final, do you got Detroit? I got Detroit winning this. Zion?
I have Detroit. Yeah, Detroit,
Yeah,
Detroit as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I,
think
I'm
Detroit
I'm
comes out
gonna
and
go
cleans
the
up.
opposite. I'm gonna take Green Bay. I just don't feel that confident. I just don't feel that confident about it. But we'll have to see on Thursday.
We'll see you on Thursday. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Uh, Two Tone Nation, for everyone watching these roundups, these are very special. Zion, thank you for being here on the channel, bro. I always love
Appreciate y'all for
having
having
you
me.
here, man.
Yeah,
You're
it's great.
such
It's always fun.
knowledgeable, smart on your football knowledge is so amazing and your IQ. And
Appreciate it.
as always, guys, have a safe holidays. Safe travels. Be with your family. Give hugs. Tell your family you love them. We're all here together. James, I'll see you in a week, my boy. And Zion, we'll have our own. We'll be watching the game together for Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. All right.
James,
Catch you all later.
How
latest,
about the
guys.
Cowboys win? Oh, nice.